and welcome to the Mastermind semi-finals with me, Clive Myrie. In the spotlight tonight are Lisa Cowan, a PhD student. Her specialist subject is James I of Scotland. Tom Adlam, a management consultant. His subject is the television drama series Breaking Bad. Ollie Hansen, a software developer. He'll be answering questions on the World Athletics Championships from 2011 to the present. And Julie Ashcroft, a retired administrator. Her specialist subject, the life of the author Mary Shelley. 4 more semi-final contenders have their eye on the prize, a coveted place in the grand final of Mastermind. Not just anyone can wander in here off the street, you know. You've got to be ready for the black chair and the quick-fire questions all against the clock. 2 minutes on a specialist subject and 2.5 minutes on general knowledge will either leave our quizzes exhilarated or frazzled. Which will it be? We wish them well. So, can I ask our first semi-finalist to join us, please? Your name?
Lisa Cowan.
Your occupation?
PhD student.
And your specialist subject?
James I of Scotland.
The King of Scots who ruled from 1406 to 1437 in 2 minutes. Let's go. What was the name of James's older brother who died in the custody of their uncle, the Duke of Albany, in 1402, making James heir to the Scottish throne at the age of 7?
David, the Duke of Rothesay.
Yes, James was taken into the care of Bishop Wardlaw of St Andrews around 1404 and was joined there the following year by the grandson of which English earl?
The Earl of Northumberland.
Yes, while he was being transported to France for safekeeping, James was taken prisoner in 1406 after his ship was intercepted by English pirates, off which promontory on the east coast of England?
Flamborough Head.
Yes, James became King of Scotland while still a prisoner of the English and remained in England until 1424, when he was released after his marriage was arranged to which English noblewoman?
Joan Beaufort.
Yes, in 1425, James arrested Murdoch, the head of the powerful Albany Stuart family, and he was tried and executed along with other family members at which castle?
Stirling.
Yes, which keeper of Dumbarton Castle successfully repelled an attack by James the Fat in the lead up to the trials of the Albany Stuart family?
John Colquhoun of Luss.
Yes, in 1427, which important earldom, the richest estate in Perthshire, did James grant to his uncle Walter Stewart, who already held the title Earl of Athol?
Strathearn.
Yes, which rebel noble's forces did James defeat in a battle at Loch Arbour in 1429, after which the noble surrendered and was imprisoned in Tantallon Castle?
Alexander, Lord of the Isles?
Yes, at a meeting of James's council in 1436, which nobleman who'd been appointed speaker spoke out against the king's demand for more taxes and attempted to arrest him for misgovernment?
Robert Graham.
Yes, who headed the prestigious embassy sent by Charles VII of France to James in 1428 to ask for military support against England?
The Duke of Orleans.
No, the Archbishop of Reims, which earl, together with William Crichton and Adam Hepburn, seized Dunbar Castle on behalf of James in 1434 following the arrest of the Earl of Dunbar and March?
Alexander Forbes.
No, it was the Earl of Angus. Lisa, you had no passes at the end of that round. You've got 9 points. And our next contender, please. Your name?
Tom Adlam.
Your occupation?
Management consultant.
And your specialist subject?
Breaking Bad.
The American television drama series starring Bryan Cranston as a terminally ill chemistry teacher who synthesizes illegal drugs to fund his cancer treatment. In 2 minutes. Let's go. When Walter White accompanies his brother-in-law Hank on a drugs raid, he's shocked to find that his former pupil Jesse Pinkman is a dealer operating under what nautical nickname?
Captain Cook.
Yes, in Caballo Sin Nombre. What food item does Walter buy for his estranged wife, Skylar? Although when she shuts the door on him, he throws it in the air and it lands on the roof.
Pizza.
Yes, what's the name of the composer who wrote the theme music and incidental score for the series?
Pass.
In 38 Snub, Hank's wife Marie wakes up in the early hours of the morning to find him examining a mineral which he tells her is called blue what?
Corundum.
Yes, when Walter belatedly arrives at Skylar's hospital bed after she's given birth in the episode Phoenix, which character is also present, having driven her to hospital when she went into labour?
Ted Beneke.
Yes, what's the name of the nursing home where the drugs distributor Gustavo Fring visits the cartel boss Hector Salamanca for the last time in Face Off?
Casa Tranquilla.
Yes, in Dead Freight, Lydia, a former business partner of Gustavo Fring, offers Walter the chance to steal an ocean of methylamine that's been imported from which Chinese city?
Shanghai.
No, Guangzhou. In the episode Down, Walter is upset to learn that his son, Walter Jr., has chosen to use what other first name?
Flynn.
Yes, in the episode Over, after Jesse walks out following an argument with his girlfriend, Jane, she slips a piece of paper under his door with a drawing of herself in the guise of what imaginary superhero?
Apology Girl.
Yes, in Grey Matter, what name does Jesse's friend Badger give to the spinning maneuver he demonstrates to him while working as an advertising sign holder? A move he also uses later when the pair fight in Jesse's motorhome.
Pass.
When Jesse tells Walter that he wants to stop manufacturing illegal drugs in Say My Name, Walter replies that, without it, the only things Jesse has in his life are video games and what?
Drugs.
No, go-karts. Tom, you had two passes in Grey Matter. The name given by Jesse's friend Badger to the spinning maneuver he demonstrates, it's the helicopter. And the name of the composer who wrote the theme music, Dave Porter. And at the end of that round, Tom, you've got 7 points. And our next contender, please. Your name.
Ollie Hansen,
Your occupation.
software developer.
And your specialist subject.
The World Athletics Championships from 2011 to present.
Yes, the prestigious biennial track and field competition from Daegu in 2011 to Budapest in 2023. In 2 minutes, let's go. The first World Athletics Championships to have an equal number of men's and women's events was held in which city in 2017?
London.
Yes, competing in front of a home crowd in Eugene in 2022, which athlete won gold in the women's 400 metres hurdles, breaking her own world record time by more than half a second?
McLaughlin.
Yes, although Russia originally topped the medals table in Moscow in 2013, all their gold medalists were subsequently disqualified apart from the pole vaulter Yelena Isinbayeva and Alexander Menkov, who won which event?
Long jump.
Yes, in Budapest in 2023, which athlete won Pakistan's first World Championships medal by taking silver in the men's javelin?
Nadim.
Yes, in 2015 in Beijing, which African country topped the medals table ahead of Jamaica and the United States with 7 golds and 6 silvers?
Kenya.
Yes, when the championships were held in the Qatari capital Doha in 2019, which athlete won the host country's only gold medal in the men's high jump?
Barshim.
Yes, on the first night of competition in Budapest, 2 female Dutch athletes both fell just meters from the finishing line while leading in the respective finals of the mixed 4x400 meters relay and which other event?
The 10,000 metres.
Yes, which country's first ever gold medal in the championships came on the opening day in Beijing in the men's marathon?
Eritrea.
Yes, which runner won the women's 5,000 and 10,000 metres in Daegu in 2011 and the 10,000 metres again in Beijing 4 years later?
Chariot.
Yes, in Budapest, Dominic Cherney, who finished 19th in the men's 35-kilometre walk and then proposed to his compatriot Hanna Bertsolova as she crossed the line in the women's race, was representing which country?
Bulgaria.
No, Slovakia. Which African sprinter finished second behind Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price in the finals of the women's 100 and 200 metres in Moscow?
Hooray.
Yes, after Usain Bolt was disqualified for a false start, which of his Jamaican teammates, I've started so I'll finish, which of his Jamaican teammates won the men's 100 metres final in Daegu?
Blake.
It was Johan Blake. And Ollie, you had no passes, and at the end of that round, you've got 11 points.
Thank you.
And our final contender, please. Your name?
Julie Ashcroft.
Your occupation
Retired administrator.
and your specialist subject.
The life of Mary Shelley.
The author whose early science fiction novel Frankenstein was published in 1818. In 2 minutes, let's go. As a child, Mary suffered ill health and in 1812, aged 14, was sent to live for several months with a family in which Scottish port?
Dundee.
Yes, at the outset of a relationship that would lead to their elopement in July 1814, Mary secretly and regularly met Percy Shelley in the cemetery of which London church?
Old St Pancras.
Yes, what was the single word title of the short story that Mary began writing while at Mastermind in Holland in 1814, but which has since been lost?
Pass.
To which of his close friends did Percy Shelley write a letter in 1814 in which he declared that he was struck by the originality and loveliness of Mary's character and the wildness and sublimity of her feelings?
Thomas Hogg.
Yes, what was the name of the house on Lake Geneva rented by Mary and Percy in the summer of 1816?
Chapuis, Maison Chapuis.
Yes, for which publication did Mary write a series of 5 volumes in the 1830s entitled Lives of the Most Eminent Literary and Scientific Men?
The Cyclopédie. No, pass. It's gone.
According to Mary's introduction to the 1831 edition of Frankenstein, which fellow writer suggested on the night of the 15th of June, 1816, that the visitors staying at the Villa Diodati should each write a ghost story?
Byron.
Yes, the lodgings where Mary is believed to have written much of Frankenstein during the autumn and winter of 1816 to 17 was on which street in Bath?
Pass.
Which critic, writing in the Quarterly Review in January 1818, denounced the recently published Frankenstein as a tissue of horrible and disgusting absurdity?
Scott.
No, John Wilson Croker. In which London church did Mary, in the presence of her estranged father and stepmother, marry Percy Shelley on the 30th of December, 1816?
St Mildred's, Bradstreet.
Yes. Mary's 1823 novel, Valperga, was inspired by the life of the tyrannical medieval ruler Castruccio Castricani, the prince of which Italian city?
Lucca.
It is Lucca. Julie, you had 3 passes. The lodgings where Mary is believed to have written much of Frankenstein is on the street in Bath Abbey Churchyard. And it's the Cabinet Cyclopedia.
This one.
Yeah, you do. It's the publication that Mary wrote a series of 5 volumes in the 1830s. And the single word title of the short story that Mary began writing while at Marslaus, Hate. And at the end of that round, Julie, you've got 7 points.
Thank you.
And at the end of the specialist subjects round in this semi-final, let's have a look at the scores. In joint 3rd place with 7 points each, it's Tom and Julie. In 2nd place with 9 points, it's Lisa. And in 1st place with 11 points, it's Ollie. So now, it's general knowledge. And if there's a tie at the end, then the number of passes is taken into account. And the person with the fewer passes is the winner. And if they're tied on passes as well, it's a tie break. So let's ask Tom to join us again, please. Tom, you start with 7 points. You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. The letters BBQ are used as an abbreviation for what outdoor event?
Barbecue.
Yes, what tidal estuary formed by the confluence of the rivers Ouse and Trent reaches the North Sea beyond Hull?
Humber.
Yes, what term derived from the Latin for plant eating is applied to an animal that feeds only on plants?
Herbivorous.
Yes, which singer and civil rights activist who died in 2023 at the age of 96 became known as the King of Calypso after having a UK hit single with the Banana Boat song?
Harry Belafonte.
Yes, the 1989 book The Girl at the Lion d'Or is the first novel of the so-called French trilogy by which British author?
Sebastian Faulks.
Yes, after he discovered how to measure the volume of a complex shape while taking a bath, the mathematician Archimedes is reputed to have run through the streets shouting what Greek word meaning, I found it?
Eureka.
Yes, what 1949 film musical stars Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra as sailors on 24-hour shore leave in New York City?
South Pacific.
No, on the town in 2021, who became the first woman to be appointed as Secretary of the US Treasury?
Pass.
According to a common expression, meaning that it's preferable to solve a problem immediately and stop it becoming much worse. A stitch in time saves how many?
9.
Yes, at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics, Rhys Dunn won 3 gold medals for Great Britain in which sport?
Table tennis.
No, swimming. What military alliance was established in Washington, D.C. in 1949 when 12 countries signed the treaty to counter the risk of Soviet expansion into Western Europe?
NATO.
Yes, what television sitcom first shown in 2006 stars Lee Mack and Sally Bretton as the 2 main characters, Lee and Lucy?
Pass.
The Tarpeian Rock, which was a place of execution for traitors in ancient times, is in which European capital city?
Rome.
Yes, what was the surname of Ray, the American engineer who, in the 1960s, developed a noise reduction system for audio tapes that became standard in the music and film industries?
Dolby.
Yes, which breed of dog that's classified as standard, miniature or toy and often has a curly coat has a name derived from an old German word meaning splash?
Poodle.
Yes, wherever it moves, which chess piece always remains on a square that's the same colour as the one on which it started the game?
Bishop.
Yes, which British violinist, accompanied by the English Chamber Orchestra, I've studied so I'll finish, accompanied by the English Chamber Orchestra, reached number 3 in the UK albums chart in 1990 with a recording of The Four Seasons by Vivaldi?
Nigel Kennedy.
It was Nigel Kennedy. Just the 2 passes, Tom, the television sitcom starring Lee Mack and Sally Bretton, Not Going Out. Yes, and Janet Yellen is the first woman appointed as Secretary of the US Treasury. So, Tom, you've now got a total of 20 points. Next up, it's Julie. Julie, you start with 7 points. The score to beat as it stands is 20 points, and you've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. According to the Gospel of Matthew, the wise men presented the infant Jesus with gifts of gold, frankincense, and what other substance?
Myrrh.
Yes, the okapi, a relative of the giraffe, is native to which continent?
Africa.
Yes, which Austrian neurologist, often said to be the founder of psychoanalysis, wrote the hugely influential 1900 book, The Interpretation of Dreams?
Freud.
Yes, from 2001 to 2009, the husband and wife television presenting team with the surnames Madeley and Finnegan fronted a chat show entitled Richard and Who?
Judy.
Yes, which gaseous chemical element has a name derived from Greek words meaning water and forming?
Oxygen.
No, hydrogen. In which opera by Verdi is the title character a court jester to the Duke of Mantua?
Tosca.
No, Rigoletto. In 2023, which basketball franchise won their first NBA title when they beat the Miami Heat in the finals?
Harlem Globetrotters.
No, the Denver Nuggets on a standard London Monopoly board. The 2 tax squares are Super Tax and which other between Whitechapel Road and King's Cross Station?
Income tax.
Yes, which British artist painted the 1870 work entitled The Boyhood of Raleigh, depicting the explorer as a child listening to a Genoese sailor on a seafront?
Stubbs.
No, Millet, which legendary queen of Carthage, a refugee from her home city of Tyre, was originally known by her Phoenician name, Elissa.
Dido.
Yes, at the Academy Awards ceremony in 2023, who became the first Asian woman to win a Best Actress Oscar for her performance in the film Everything, Everywhere, All at Once?
Amy Chan.
No, Michelle Yeoh, the American M4 tank, the most widely used tank of the Allied forces during the Second World War, was better known by the surname of which US Civil War general?
Grant.
No, Sherman. Which British band fronted by Roy Wood topped the UK singles chart in 1969 with the song Blackberry Way?
Wizard.
No, The Move. What word for a vertical length of tubing that carries rainwater away from the roof of a building is also the name for a style of tight-fitting trousers?
Drainpipe.
Yes, Dr. Robert McIntyre became which political party's first MP at Westminster when he won a by-election in the constituency of Motherwell in 1945?
Scottish Nationalist. The SNP.
Yes, I'll accept. Scottish National Party. What name derived from the Hebrew for gathering is given to a collective settlement in Israel organised on cooperative principles?
Kibbutz.
Yes, in the United States. I've started, so I'll finish. In the United States, Memorial Day, previously called Decoration Day, is observed on the last Monday of which month?
November.
No, it's May. And Julie, at the end of that round, you had no passes, and you've got 16 points.
Thank you.
Next up, let's have Lisa again, please. Lisa, you start with 9 points. The score to beat as it stands is 20 points, and you've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. What word derived from the Latin for old can mean higher in rank or older in years, and is often the direct opposite of junior?
Superior.
No, senior. Which constellation and sign of the zodiac has the alternative name, the Archer?
Aries.
No, Sagittarius. Which American singer reached the top 10 in the UK singles and albums charts in 1999 with her song and album both entitled My Love Is Your Love?
Dionne Warwick.
No, Whitney Houston. The ceiling of which chapel in the Vatican is adorned with fresco paintings depicting scenes from the biblical book of Genesis, including a painting popularly known as the creation of Adam?
Sistine.
Yes, in June 2023, which football manager rejoined Celtic as head coach for a second time, having left the club in 2019?
Pass.
What term, derived from a Greek word for a narrow passage or neck, is given to a thin strip of land that connects two larger land masses and separates two bodies of water?
Peninsula.
No, isthmus. Cannery Row is a 1945 novel by which Nobel Prize-winning American author?
Hemingway.
No, Steinbeck. Georgia Toffolo, known informally as Toff, who won the 2017 series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, rose to fame as a cast member on which structured reality television series?
The Only Way is Essex.
No, Made in Chelsea. A hexagonal prism has how many faces?
6.
No, 8. On the London Underground, the loop at the southwestern end of the Piccadilly line serves terminals of which airport?
Heathrow.
Yes. What's the medical name for the gullet, the muscular tube that conveys food from the pharynx to the stomach?
Esophagus.
Yes. Which designer, who'd been made a dame in the 2015 New Year's Honours list for her services to British fashion, died in April 2023, aged 93?
Vivienne Westwood.
No, Mary Quant. Which work by Sir Edward Elgar comprises individual musical portraits of many members of his family and circle of friends?
Symphony in A.
No, the Enigma Variations. Which American actress won an Oscar for her performance as June Carter in the 2005 film Walk the Line?
Reese Witherspoon.
Yes. Which politician was the UK Prime Minister when Queen Victoria succeeded to the throne and became a mentor to the young monarch in the early years of her reign?
David Lloyd George.
No, Melbourne. What's the name of the comedian and actor who, in 2018, began co-presenting the television series Gone Fishing with his friend Paul Whitehouse, and who wrote a 2021 memoir entitled And Away?
Michael McIntyre.
No, Bob Mortimer. Lisa, you had one pass, the football manager who rejoined Celtic as head coach for a second time, Brendan Rodgers. And at the end of that round, Lisa, you've got a total of 13 points.
Thank you.
And finally, let's have Ollie again, please. Ollie, you start with 11 points, the score to beat to get through to the Mastermind Grand Final. Is Tom's 20 points? You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. What French word is also used in English for an open tart consisting of a pastry case filled with a savoury egg custard and other ingredients such as cheese, bacon or spinach?
Quiche.
Yes. The 2018 film Solo stars Alden Ehrenreich as the title character, a role previously played by Harrison Ford in what film series?
Star Wars.
Yes. Nero is the Italian word for what colour?
Black.
Yes. Which Irish singer and former member of One Direction had his second UK #1 album with a 2023 release entitled The Show?
Horan.
Yes, Niall Horan. What's the surname of the former UK Prime Minister who was born in Oxford in 1975 and given the forenames Mary Elizabeth?
Truss.
Yes. What 1961 novel by Joseph Heller is set mainly on the small Mediterranean island of Pionosa?
Catch-22.
Yes, which medieval English king was married first to Isabella of Gloucester and then to Isabella of Angoulême?
Edward III.
No, King John. Which American golfer won his first major title when he beat Rory McIlroy by one stroke in the 2023 US Open?
Clark.
Yes, Wyndham Clark. The Hanamatsuri, or Flower Festival, celebrated in Japan on the 8th of April each year, is a celebration of the birth of which religious figure?
The Buddha.
Yes, Mozart's Symphony No. 38 in D major is informally named after which European city where it was first performed during his visit there in 1787?
London.
No, Prague. Which Scottish actor who died in 2022 is known for the roles of Hagrid in the Harry Potter films and Fitz in the television detective drama series Cracker?
Pass.
Which letter of the alphabet goes before the word junction to mean a place where one road meets another at right angles without crossing it, giving the road user the option of turning left or right?
T.
Yes. What's the common name of the fast-growing evergreen plant, Ligustrum ovalifolium, which is a popular choice for garden hedges?
Pass.
What legal term is used to describe a person who has died without having made a valid will?
Intestate.
Yes, in the abbreviation RPG for a type of game in which a participant assumes the part of a character, the letters RP stand for what?
Role-playing.
Yes, which of the 5 Great Lakes of North America extends furthest north?
Superior.
Yes, which Dublin-born playwright who became the manager and co-owner of London's Theatre Royal after its finish of London's Theatre Royal, Drury Lane in 1776, also served as an MP for 32 years representing the Whigs?
Sure.
No, Sheridan. Ollie, you had 2 passes. The common name of the fast-growing evergreen plant, popular for garden hedges, it's privet. And the Scottish actor, who had roles of Hagrid in Harry Potter and Fitz in Cracker, Robbie Coltrane.
Yeah, couldn't come.
But you know what, Ollie? It didn't matter, because at the end of that round, you've got 23 points.
Thanks very much, Clive. Cheers.
So let's have a look at the final scores. In 4th place with 13 points, it's Lisa. In 3rd place with 16 points, sits Julie. In 2nd place with 20 points, it's Tom. So in 1st place with 23 points, it's Ollie, which means he goes through to the grand final. Congratulations to him. If you'd like to be a contender in the next series, just go to our website, bbc.co.uk/mastermind, and you can follow us at Mastermind Quiz. Join us again next time for more Masterminds. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
I just can't believe it. I'm over the moon.
In 1st place with 23 points, it's Ollie.
To get into the final is just insane.